Welcome to the Jamaica Bulletin Board, where we give you the latest on what's happening in Jamaica. If you like our content today, please show it by hitting the thumb up button. Subscribe so that we can alert you whenever we upload. Now let's go into it. In the news today, good news for Jamaica. Jamaica recorded its lowest monthly murder toll in 25 years, with only 47 murders reported in February. This marks a 35% decrease compared to the same period last year. This rapid and consistent decrease in major crimes is a testimony to the government's investments in law enforcement. For many Jamaicans, it is a dream come true. How do you feel about these awesome events? Do you believe that the political will had been lacking before, or is it just that the present security system is better? Let me know in the comments. Whatever it is, it works, and we are all thankful for that. Are we going back to the days when community nightlife was at a buzz and we could leave our doors open? Can the fact that we are near 100% employed have something to do with it? There are so many interesting dynamics to explore. Here's a detailed look at Jamaica's crime statistics for 2025 so far. Murder rates. Jamaica has recorded 73 murders as of February 1, 2025. This marks a 13% decline compared to the same period in 2024, which saw 84 murders. The country is experiencing its lowest murder rate at the start of a year in recent times. Regional breakdown. 4 divisions, Trelawney, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and Kingston Central, have reported no murders this year. However, St. Andrew South and St. Catherine South have recorded the highest numbers, with 13 and 11 murders, respectively. Serious crimes. Other serious crimes, including shootings, rapes, robberies, and break-ins, have also seen a year-on-year decline. This success has been consistent over years. Now it is obvious and can be felt by citizens having less sense of fear in their daily routines in some places that were seen as crime hotspots. Government measures. Dispute some resistance from Jamaica's opposition party, the PNP, not seeing eye to eye with government. The security forces have implemented curfews and states of public emergency in several divisions, including Kingston Central, St. Andrew South, and St. Catherine South, to curb violence. Thankfully, these initiatives seem to be working quite well, and I bet both parties will agree with that. Great going, Jamaica! Let's look at the historical context. Last year, Jamaica ended with 1,141 murders, a 19% reduction compared to 2023. The government aims to keep the murder count below 1,000 in 2025. That, my viewers, would be an achievement. Jamaica is getting safer than where we are running to. In other news, a feel-good moment. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has pledged support for residents in downtown Kingston who were displaced by recent fires. During his visit to the affected areas, including Love Lane, Fleet Street, and Lad Lane, he assured residents that the government would assist them as quickly as possible. However, he emphasized that rebuilding efforts would require determining land ownership and conducting social investigations to assess the extent of assistance needed. For those without land titles, the government plans to provide building materials or other forms of support, ensuring property rights are respected. The fire incident occurred in Kingston Central and Western constituencies, devastating homes and leaving many residents displaced. The government is already providing humanitarian aid, and further steps are being planned to address the rebuilding process. It's a challenging situation, but the commitment to help is a positive step forward. And this is what usually separates Andrew Holness from most politicians. The way the needy folks received him was heartwarming. And the thing to take notice of is that he made promises and every single person knew that it was as good as done. This is not your typical Jamaican politician. We are going into another election and Andrew Holness' personality will likely give him the edge. He was there for 9 years already, and he does what he says he will do, to the degree that he said he would help, and no one questioned. This is a challenge for his opponents and it will become the catalyst that makes both parties better for now and in the future. Our politics is evolving in a good way. Here is a useful quote from Mark Golding to move on with. The fact that there may be disagreement on some issues should not be regarded as a hindrance to dialogue, national unity, and effective governance. It is a question of how we resolve those differences and the manner in which we conduct ourselves in bringing our points of view forward that I think is important. By deliberately embracing this approach, the population can learn from our leaders how to resolve issues where there is not necessarily agreement. I bet we all agree with the opposition leader here. Great quote. Now let's move on. The Jamaica Public Service Company is exploring the implementation of underground power lines as part of a broader strategy to make its grid more resilient against Category 5 hurricanes. This initiative is part of a sweeping overhaul to address the increasing frequency and intensity of hurricanes due to climate change. While underground power lines are significantly more expensive, about 10 times the cost of overhead lines, they offer greater protection against storm-related outages and faster recovery times. JPS is conducting feasibility studies to determine where undergrounding would be most beneficial, focusing on high-traffic business districts and critical infrastructure areas. The company is also transitioning to hurricane-resistant power poles and reinforcing substations as part of its grid hardening strategy. This approach is designed to ensure that essential services, such as water and telecommunications, remain operational during extreme weather events. While the full-scale implementation of underground power lines isn't feasible due to cost constraints, selective undergrounding in key areas is seen as a practical step forward. In other news, JLP tension in Clarendon. There is some tension within the Jamaica Labour Party in Clarendon Central over candidate selection. The party's secretariat has recommended Delroy Williams, former mayor of Kingston, as the candidate to replace veteran MP Mike Henry, who is stepping down after decades of service. However, this decision has sparked dissatisfaction among some supporters, who feel that the process lacked proper consultation with local delegates and constituents. While Mayor of May Pen Joel Williams, who was endorsed by Mike Henry, has publicly accepted the decision, there are reports of division among party members in the constituency. Some back Delroy Williams for his organizational skills and fresh energy, while others remain loyal to Joel Williams for his long-standing work in the area. The JLP leadership, including General Secretary Dr. Horace Chong, has downplayed the extent of the division and is working to address concerns. Whether this changes the game depends on how well the party manages to unify its base before the next election. Moving on. WAV's Beach Club's community initiatives. The WAV's Beach Club in Negril is making waves with its community service projects. They've launched the WAV's Youth Alliance, focusing on youth development through mentorship and skill-building programs. They're also organizing a 5K beach trot to raise funds for local charities. Blue Mountain Coffee Festival. The 8th annual Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival recently wrapped up, celebrating Jamaica's world-famous brew with coffee-inspired products, entertainment, and cultural experiences. Affordable Housing Lottery. A new 16-story residential building in Jamaica has opened a housing lottery for affordable units. The development offers modern amenities and is part of the ongoing redevelopment efforts in the area. The government is moving closer to making Portmore Jamaica's 15th parish, with infrastructure developments underway to support this transition. Jamaica Bulletin Board will keep following these events. News on sports. Jamaica Premier League (JPL). Moulins United staged an impressive comeback to defeat Vere United 3-2. Jason Wright scored the winning goal in added time, snapping Moulins' 4-game losing streak. Day-night Test cricket. Jamaica is set to host a historic day-night Test match at Sabina Park in July 2025. This will be the first day-night Test in the Caribbean in 7 years. Cavalier FC rallied to beat Chapelton Maroons 2-1, with late goals from Jalmaro Calvin and Shaquille Stein. Waterhouse FC snapped a 6-game winless streak by defeating Portmore United 1-0, thanks to Andre Fletcher's free kick. Racing United extended their unbeaten run to 9 games, edging out Moulins United 3-2. Dunbeholden FC came from behind to defeat Humble Lion 3-2. Harbourview managed a 2-2 draw against Tivoli Gardens, recovering from a 2-goal deficit. In entertainment news, Munga Honourable's attorney, Christopher Townsend, is arguing for the dismissal of the case on the grounds that his client's constitutional right to a trial within a reasonable time has been breached. The case, which involves the 2017 murder of Cleveland Smith, has been delayed for 7 years, with the prosecution's file still incomplete. Key evidence, such as a cyber report on electronic devices, has not been disclosed to the defense, further complicating the trial process. Townsend contends that the prolonged delay undermines the fairness of the trial and creates challenges for both the defense and the prosecution, such as difficulties in locating witnesses. He believes these delays violate Munga's rights and could justify the case being dismissed. The court will ultimately decide whether these arguments are sufficient to dismiss the case. Lisa Hyper, the dancehall artiste, is reportedly making steady progress in her recovery journey. After experiencing a mental health episode that gained significant attention on social media, she has been receiving treatment at the University Hospital of the West Indies. Her family has expressed gratitude for the support from fans, friends, and fellow artists, emphasizing that the love and prayers have been instrumental in her healing process. Her sister, Tasha Gooden, shared that while it has been a challenging time, Lisa is improving daily with the care of her medical team and the support of loved ones. The family remains hopeful for her full recovery and has asked for continued prayers and understanding from the public. So that's it for today, folks. Before we go, here's a little joke to lighten you up. Why don't skeletons fight each other? Because they don't have the guts. Thanks for listening our Jamaica News Bulletin Board. Remember to subscribe to the channel and stay in the loop. See you in the next upload.